On Good Day Acadiana, feeling like fall out there to start your day. Really nice weather, but how long does it last?
And while locals are strongly urged to evacuate ahead of Milton's landfall in Florida, Louisiana's trusted power crews are headed back to the Sunshine State to prepare for recovery. And have you seen this teen? Police are on the lookout in Jeff Davis Parish after he allegedly shot up a motorcycle club. What you need to know in our Crime Watch straight ahead.
It should reassure parents that we do have that extra level of safety.
We're going to take you to one Lafayette School campus where work is underway to install bulletproof protection in case of a serious threat. And another parish in Acadiana dealing with the fallout of a cyber hack that took them offline to start the school week.
You're watching News 15's Good Day Acadiana, honored as the state's best newscast by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Well, good Tuesday morning. You're watching Good Day Acadiana. I'm Alex Worstell.
And I'm Scott Brazda. Thanks for tuning in this morning.
We're going to start you off with a check of the weather here. Storm Track 15 meteorologist Olivier standing by with beautiful temperatures.
Adam, it's a great start, sir.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic. You walk outside and it's like, oh, we can breathe. There's no humidity. This is the type of weather we love to see. And Scott, Alex, look at this. 50s in Ville Platte and Opelousas this morning. 60s down closer to the I-10 corridor and even towards the coast. So really nice weather out there. Your winds out of the north right now, 5 to 10 miles an hour, giving us that cooler breeze and good feel. Looking ahead through the next 3 hours, I am tracking some temperatures that'll warm here into the upper 60s. In fact, very pleasant out there. But while we're enjoying this nice weather, we do have to talk about Hurricane Milton, a Category 4 hurricane this morning in the southern Gulf, setting its sights on the Florida Peninsula. Now, I'll give you the latest on that coming up. For now, though, let's get a check on traffic.
Early on a cool Tuesday morning in Acadiana, traffic is still light, so there isn't really much going on. We have all clear on Acadiana roadways. Checking in with DOTD. Things are looking good on both I-10 and I-49 as well. If you see a situation, call us 706-0119. I'm Steve Wiley in the Delta Media Studios.
Only on News 15, it is a sign of the times. Work is being done right now to bulletproof Lafayette Parish schools.
News 15's Dracar Francois has exclusive details from Scott Middle School. It's one of the campuses where that kind of work is underway.
The Lafayette Parish School Board is adding an extra layer of protection for all students at all schools. The district says this is to ensure the safety for everyone while at school.
We are installing these bulletproof vestibules to create a safe space at the entrance to these schools, man.
These are bullet-resistant vestibules, which are being placed at the entrance of schools and will act as a bulletproof room before anyone can get inside of a school in Lafayette Parish.
And they would not be allowed to have access to the rest of the school, and the rest of the school will be protected via the bulletproof doors, bulletproof windows, bulletproof paneling on the walls to keep that threat on this side. And the other side would be considered the safe side, you know, because obviously they're safe on the other side.
When someone is buzzed inside of the school, they're typically inside of the same hallways teachers and students are in. But by the start of the next school year, once someone is let inside of the school, they will be in an isolated area away from everything.
It should reassure parents that we do have that extra level of safety, so that if somebody should approach the school with malintent, that there's one more level of protection for their students.
This project will be finished by the start of next school year. In Lafayette, I'm Dracar Francois for News 15.
Now, the Vermilion Parish school system was a recent victim of a cyber attack. They tell us the computer system networks were taken offline Monday to, quote, investigate a potential compromise of our systems. Vermilion Parish schools have hired an outside expert to investigate. District leaders say that they think they caught the attack early on. They want to prevent any further compromising of their systems. Not yet known how long this process will take to restore the computer networks.
We're going to go to Jennings, where police are searching for 17-year-old Savion Guillory of Crowley. He's considered armed and dangerous and is wanted for a double shooting at a motorcycle club on South Main Street in Jennings. Police say Guillory shot and wounded 2 people at the club over the weekend, and he's wanted on attempted murder and weapons charges.
Federal government racing to respond with tens of thousands potentially in the catastrophic path of Hurricane Milton. It's the top story coming from our nation's capital.
Police in Scott announced another arrest in the deadly shooting of a man that was once in headlines for something else.
And here's a look at your school day forecast, where we are tracking some pretty quiet conditions. Lots of sunshine out there, no threat of rain, but we'll find out how long this nice weather lasts coming up.
.608 if you're just tuning in. New details in a News 15 Investigates follow-up this morning. This one involves last month's deadly golf course plane crash that killed a prominent Lafayette homebuilder.
News 15 Investigates examines the initial findings released Monday by the National Transportation Safety Board. The preliminary report confirms what we previously gave you. Now, the plane crashed onto a fairway at Oakbourne Country Club just minutes after takeoff from the Lafayette Regional Airport.
According to the NTSB, as the Hawker Beechcraft was taking off, white smoke could be seen trailing from the aircraft. It went down moments later, about 2,000 feet away from the end of the airport runway where it initially took off. 73-year-old Greg Manuel of Manuel Builders was killed. He was the pilot and the only person on board.
The NTSB tells us there's no evidence at this point to indicate any malfunction at the plane's flight controls. The exact cause of the crash does remain undetermined as that probe continues.
As News 15 Investigates previously reported, FAA records had been reviewed by an expert showing the plane had its airworthiness certificate revoked at one point, but then it was later reissued. Now, the airworthiness of the plane is part of the NTSB's ongoing investigation.
A third person has been arrested in the murder of a Scott man.
21-year-old Anthony Babineau Jr. was found dead of multiple gunshot wounds 2 weeks ago. He made national headlines after this video surfaced of him being choked by Scott Police Lieutenant Brun Laverne outside of the Boudin Fest this year. Now, Babineau hired a well-known civil rights lawyer to pursue a brutality claim against Scott Police.
This man, 22-year-old Dalen Williams of Lafayette, is now the third person jailed for Babineau's killing. He's facing a murder charge. 17-year-old Kylan LeBlanc and 21-year-old Trevion Cobb were previously charged in his murder. A motive has not been disclosed.
Another News 15 Investigates. This one's a follow-up to a recent friendly fire death of Lafayette Police Corporal Cegis Jolivet. This happened during a standoff.
As we previously reported, we told you the Lafayette Sheriff's Department billed the Lafayette Police Department $25,000 for the costs associated with the fallen officer's funeral.
Well, we are learning a majority of the Lafayette City Council opposes paying that bill. The Sheriff's Office provided policing services in the city of Lafayette on the day of Jolivet's funeral. Now this, of course, to allow LPD officers to attend the service.
LPD's chief forwarded the sheriff's bill to the Blanco Boulay administration, who in turn forwarded it to the city council, asked the city council to pay for it. A 4-member majority of the council has balked at approving the payment.
Well, to catch up on this story, plus everything happening across Acadiana, the state, and America, visit our website. It's all there, KADN.com. Louisiana responders are thinking ahead as recovery efforts in Florida will need all the help they can get following Milton.
And really comfortable conditions here.
Always tracking, always alerting. Here's your Storm Track 15 weather.
It is 6:14. We start you off with your Tuesday edition of the dog walking forecast with Mr. Mac. He's so cute.
Mac's a cowboy.
Mac is a cowboy.
He's a rancher.
He said, forget the walk. We're going for a ride.
Yeah.
What a guy.
I mean, you gotta love it, right?
He's so cute.
Out there enjoying a nice breeze, like this is how you do life. Mac out here enjoying some outdoor activities, and I think a lot of our furry friends are going to be doing the same today as we have some beautiful weather. Take a look. We have sunshine throughout the day here for your dog walking forecast. Really, best time is any time today. I mean, the morning time is going to be the coolest, but if you're not a fan necessarily of some chillier weather, afternoons it'll warm up, but it won't be too hot, getting into the lower 80s. So if you want to see your furry friend like Mac here, send in those pictures. And all this nice weather thanks to a cold front that is south of the Louisiana coastline now. And that's given us some really quiet conditions down Parkerson Avenue. Crowley right now showing some really nice weather, though we do have a bit of a breeze out there atop the First National Bank building. Our temperatures in the 50s in Opelousas and Ville Platte, 60s here along the I-10 corridor and south. Winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour. They will pick up a little bit throughout the day today, but still not too bad, especially when you see temperatures like this. Low to mid 80s, sunshine. This is a picture-perfect day. The only downside is it's coming during our work week and not on the weekend. So, if you're going to find anything wrong with the forecast, that's about it. But hey, look at this. Our evening planner showing that we have clear conditions out there as we head through the rest of the day. 5 to 8 p.m. Temperatures dropping into the 70s. And then it's the 60s on our way down to the 50s. In fact, tomorrow morning, you're north of I-10. You may want a light jacket, I'm not going to lie. We're looking at lower 50s. Coolest we've been in quite some time. And look at these afternoons. Yeah, they're still pretty toasty, but hey, we don't see any 90s, so we should be pretty good. In the tropics, though, this is the bad side of things. Milton this morning trying to get back to Category 5 status. I mean, a well-formed hurricane. It got down to a minimum pressure of 897 last night, which is the lowest pressure we've seen in the Atlantic Basin since the 2005 hurricane season. So when you're talking about that, 2005, kind of the benchmark here, it's a pretty scary situation to see. And this system is going to try and continue to strengthen through the day today. 155 mile an hour winds, making it a strong Category 4. Pressure at 924 millibars. It's briefly going to become a Category 5 as it crosses the loop current here and then gradually weaken as it approaches Tampa. Now, the good news today is that this is expected to go a little bit farther to the south of Tampa, which would take away the surge risk for Tampa itself. But Sarasota down to Fort Myers, Cape Coral, the Everglades, even Key West, they're going to get rocked by some really impressive surge values. Crosses the state as a hurricane. So yeah, we do have this to deal with for Florida, but not for us, where we are looking at sunshine in the forecast for the next 7 days, 50s and 60s for morning lows.
Tuesday morning in Acadiana, it is a school day. Be watchful for buses in neighborhoods picking up those kids. Things are looking pretty good right now. We have no delays being reported on Acadiana highways. None on I-10 or I-49 either. If you see a situation we need to be aware of, call us, 706-0119.
Coming up, a journey to a UL coffee shop will offer you possibilities of pumpkin bread and a life of no regrets. Part of Acadiana coming up.
Hey, we're about to see the time warp. Do not go away. This is a great song.
Where in Acadiana is
Olivier.
Hey, we are back, guys, and I tell you what, I love Rocky Horror Show. I love the picture show. Mulaney Huff Powers here, she's the director. And of course, what they're about to do is just pretty iconic. It's the one song. If you haven't seen it, you probably heard this song. Explain what's about to happen.
So this is a very short excerpt of the time warp that happens near the beginning of the show. You've probably heard this song for Halloweens, or if you go to Halloween parties or anything like that, you've definitely heard this song. It's going to be sung by our cast, and they're basically at a big party.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to see.
And it's a dance and a song.
Yes.
So the time warp's a dance, and it's a song. I love this. Hey, before we go, remind us, when does the play debut?
So we open on October 18th, and we go through October 27th with 2 specialty shows on October 31st and November 1st. You can find all of our information about tickets on our website at abbeyplayers.com, and you can also follow us on social medias with updates there as well on Facebook and Instagram.
Now, I checked out your Facebook page today. You've already got a performance sold out, right? So if you want tickets, you better get them now.
Yeah, we're nearing our second one sold out. We only have 2 or 3 seats left for our first Saturday.
Wow. Okay, so which performance is sold out?
October 26th is sold out, and October 19th is very close to being sold out.
Okay, so if you're of a certain generation like me, you definitely want to get your tickets ordered because it's a fun play. We're going to do the time warp. Mulaney and I are going to just walk out and let them do their thing.
And then a step to the right, and put your hands on your hips, and bring your knees in time. Well, it's the pelvic thrust that really drives them insane. Let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again.
Excellent job. Hey, you know what? We're going to go back to you guys in the studio. It is Rocky Horror Picture Show. Abbey players in Abbeville, they've all collapsed.
You know what, Alex? That is a tough one to follow, but we will try. Question: when is a sign more than just a sign? Answer: when the words on that sign are a bit philosophical and they offer you a life filled with pumpkin bread and with no regrets. Here's more in today's Heart of Acadiana. You're on the UL campus. You're headed toward the heart of campus, maybe Our Lady of Wisdom Catholic Church, and you see a sign that speaks to you.
Hey, you.
You talking to me?
Yeah, you.
You're just a sidewalk sign.
You need to know we, Campus Grounds, has the best homemade pumpkin bread in the whole freaking world.
All right, Sean Miller is the GM of Campus Grounds. And Sean, the statement, best pumpkin bread in the whole freaking world, that's a pretty bold statement.
Yeah, I'd say. I don't believe putting that label on something that doesn't deserve it. So whenever I was able to actually get the pumpkin bread into the shop, I kind of threw it out there.
All right, Sean, so the pumpkin bread, you guys don't make it in-house, but you've got a friend, you have an associate who does really good stuff.
And he brought me some pumpkin bread because he always makes it for the holidays. And so whenever I tried it, I told him, this is so ridiculously good. Now all I have to do is give him a quick phone call and he comes in and drops it off. But really, I just want to hear because it's that good.
If you did not come in to try it, you will always for the rest of your life.
And wait for it, these guys said if I don't try the pumpkin bread, I will...
wonder what you missed out on this day.
Do you really want to tempt fate, Mr. Scott?
Wonder what you missed out on this day.
And no, I do not want to wonder what I missed out on this day. So here we go. Thank you, Sean. Pumpkin bread. Let's do it, Sean. Here we go. I wonder no more. So when it comes to Campus Grounds on the UL campus, don't be afraid to see the signs and maybe listen to the voices.
Wonder what you missed out on this day.
At Campus Grounds with videographer Alex Folks, Scott Brazda, News 15.
Hey, you. Yeah, you.
Temperatures out there right now pretty comfortable, but will they stick around? We'll find out.
You're watching News 15's Good Day Acadiana, honored as the state's best newscast by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
6:29, 35 seconds. Good Day Acadiana continues the Tuesday edition. I'm Scott Brazda.
Good morning. I'm Alex Worstell. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for starting your day with us.
This was a real nice one to get up and walk out to. Let's hope it'll be that way when we leave for work or we leave work, we're walking along campus. Well, Adam, what are you up today?
For all of you at home as you're heading out.
Well, the great news is it is sticking around, Alex and Scott. This is not going away. So, yeah, we have some beautiful weather out there. 50s to start off your morning in Ville Platte and in Opelousas. 60s here along I-10 and point southward. So, really nice weather. We have some winds out of the north around 5 to 10 miles an hour, and they will be with us through the day today. School day forecast shapes up like this. Lots of sunlight out there, morning and afternoon. Those temperatures, 60s turn to 80s, but not too hot. Only low to mid 80s for daytime highs, and of course no rain to track there. We are continuing to follow Milton, a Category 4 hurricane this morning. The latest on that and our local weather coming up.
We have the typical delays in school zones for this time of the morning. Remember, you cannot pass a stopped school bus. We have no accidents to report at the moment. Things are looking good on I-10 and I-49 as well. As always, if you see a situation, call 706-0119. I'm Steve Wiley in the Delta Media Studios.
Near New Orleans, new surveillance video shows two men whom deputies say killed an innocent 11-year-old girl and her uncle.
Well, this incident happened over the weekend in Laplace, and the suspects are now behind bars. Andre Fuentes has the report.
Friday night near Sugar Ridge Road and Sinclair was hectic for neighbors, with this surveillance video showing multiple rounds shot by two gunmen.
Fire trucks and ambulance and police outside, and someone was crying, saying that their baby was shot.
The victims in this case, 11-year-old Samaya McLean and her uncle Ron Tate. They were with family that night preparing for a weekend birthday. Deputies arrested Cartez Foster and Patrick Maxon on Saturday in Jefferson Parish. Sheriff Mike Trigg says the pair pistol whipped a woman a few blocks from East St. John Stadium during a football game when her friend group retaliated and beat up the pair.
You have young people that do not capable of handling conflict and resolution.
Sheriff Trigg says Foster and Maxon followed the group to a home near Tate's, and when they saw someone walking around the neighborhood who was involved in the fight,
they drove to Sugar Ridge subdivision, got out of their vehicle, firing multiple rounds at their intended target.
Officials say the intended target was not injured, but Tate and his niece were killed.
Both were totally innocent and oblivious to what was transpiring on the street outside of their home.
Sheriff Trigg says that his deputies were out nearly 12 hours after this fatal shooting trying to find the two suspects, but ultimately it was the many of the 300-plus crime cameras across the parish that located them all the way in Jefferson Parish.
If we didn't have crime cameras, where would we be in this investigation?
And while investigators continue gathering evidence, Sheriff Trigg believes he has enough to warrant the death penalty.
We feel like we have a good case with physical evidence in this case, so we'll see what happens when it goes through the criminal justice system.
The sheriff says a third family member was wounded in her leg of inside of Tate's home at the time of the shooting. She suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
Well, a close to $400 million economic action plan for the Evangeline Thruway corridor has officially been unveiled. Now, the Thruway, the redevelopment committee, taking the final steps to approve that action plan at its meeting. The plan identifies 8 areas for redevelopment, along with what will be the elevated portion of I-49 through Lafayette. It's all part of the long-awaited I-49 connector project.
We as LCG planners, administration, do our job. We can work with DOTD to get the best project and improve some of the current situation. For example, the Thruway, which is very difficult currently for people to get across.
And after the committee signed off on the plan, it was time to unveil at a public gathering. That community unveiling happened at the Downtown Convention Center Monday. It included a briefing about the Thruway economic plan. It calls for 1.5 million square feet of new development in downtown and adjacent neighborhoods. It's predicted these development projects will lead to more than 2,000 construction jobs, along with 400 permanent jobs and $46 million in yearly business revenue.
So we can start to see new reinvestment for the community, by the community, a more equitable reinvestment strategy that includes the community and allows for a new generation of residents and also investment that benefits existing neighborhoods.
Renderings shown off at the meeting were the results of a months-long effort to envision the revitalization plan for neighborhoods along the connector corridor.
Well, we are seeing some pretty nice weather out there right now, including here in Crawley. How long does it stick around in your forecast? Well, we'll find out.
And ahead of Hurricane Milton, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are headed to Houdat territory a little bit earlier than planned.
Hey, do not go away. We're talking costumes because it's a show. Stick with us.
Where in Acadiana is
Olivier.
6:38. We are in full Halloween mode, and the Rocky Horror Show might be the perfect play for the spooky season.
And of course, we had to send our resident thespian, Al Hebert. He has joined the Abbey Players. He's in Abbeville, and he's ready to preview a great, great show.
They're
Al?
talking costumes.
Hey guys, costumes, very important part of a show. I know that the costumes that Scott, Alex, and Adam wear, very important to this show. I've got this costume on, but when you're doing a play like this, you really need somebody like Daphne Hardy to coordinate the costumes, which we maybe need a costume coordinator. Daphne, what does a costume coordinator do in a play?
They put together all the costumes. They make sure that they fit every actor the way they need because every body shape is different. They also make sure they cohesively go together when everyone's on stage.
Okay, that's kind of interesting. How do you figure out, what people are going to wear, what costume? I mean, if you've seen the movie, how does this go, designing a costume for the actors?
So I was lucky enough that Mulaney sent me a lot of inspiration from the original, and then we allowed every actor to take their own individuality and put it into the character.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. So they got a chance to contribute.
Yes, every piece is, there's one piece on every costume that's just kind of like their flair.
I like that.
So what they wanted.
Flair. We need more flair on this show. Okay, make a note of that, someone. So tell us about what you're holding here.
I'm holding Columbia's costume. I think this is my favorite costume out of every costume. She actually picked every piece herself.
Oh, wow. Nice. And where do you get the jacket?
I believe she ordered it. Yeah, I
okay. I think Scott Brazda has a jacket just like this. That's a great jacket and hat. So I'm going to come down here and talk to everybody about their costumes. Now, your costume looks a little minimal. Is there more to that than this?
Yes, I have a couple different costumes, one for Act 1, two of them in Act 2, a lot of corsets and a lot of fishnets and heels and different things.
Gotcha. Typical Rocky Horror stuff. I love that. So tell us about yours.
All right, so basically I have a white shirt with a suit, a tie, and glasses. And interesting thing about my character is I have a prop, which is a wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
And under this suit I have a blanket covering my legs.
Nice. Okay. I have this same costume. I rarely wear it, though. Tie, jacket. So tell us about yours.
So as you guys can see, she has a serving type of outfit because my character, she likes to serve in different ways.
Nice. Okay. So like if you leave the play, you could go to a restaurant and make some tip money.
Hey. It's my business.
That's what I would do. If I had a costume like that, I'd definitely be hitting the restaurants, trying to get a few tips. I'll tell you what, this is a fun play. I love Rocky Horror. It's kind of iconic. And we're going to go back to you guys in the studio. Scott, you need this jacket.
What do you think?
Who's to say I don't already have one?
There you go.
Can they get me another one in a 48 long?
I'll have one for you. I'll bring it back.
You work on that and bring back the underpart as well, the bedazzled
that would look
underpart.
really, be close.
It kind of reminds me of it. You see now?
There you go.
Uh-huh. Scott would look great in the whole ensemble. Okay, thank you, Al. This was fun.
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
Just don't forget that fedora, though. 85 degrees as we head into the afternoon later on today. But look at this. 60s this morning. I'll give you the latest on this comfortable weather and how long it's 60.
Well, as Floridians brace for another hurricane, Acadiana is coming to their aid. LUS crews heading to Florida, where they'll assist in power restoration after Hurricane Milton. Now, LUS sending numerous electrical line workers, safety personnel, and equipment maintenance workers.
As Florida residents brace for Hurricane Milton, the White House ramping up federal response and urging people to heed the advice of local officials.
Well, in the wake of the catastrophic damage caused by Hurricane Helene, Milton is putting a spotlight on FEMA as storm response has become a political flashpoint. Alice Barr has the latest for you this morning.
Fears are growing in Florida as quickly as the monstrous Hurricane Milton now barreling toward the state's west coast.
My heart breaks for this entire city, and just to have this kind of a storm come through is just unheard of.
The storm's expected to make landfall late tomorrow around the Tampa Bay area. In counties down the Florida peninsula, thousands are heeding mandatory evacuation orders.
If you remain there, you could die. My men and women could die trying to rescue you.
President Biden approving an emergency declaration, the federal government promising it's ready to respond, with more than 900 federal workers on the ground in Florida.
We have search and rescue teams. The Army Corps of Engineers are there. We are ready. We have the personnel. We can respond to multiple events at a single time.
That ability will be put to the test with massive storm recovery efforts underway from Hurricane Helene. Among the most pressing priorities, clearing piles of debris that could become flying and floating hazards.
It's terrifying to think what this next storm with the wind and the rain will actually do to all of that debris.
Many dealing with the devastation from Hurricane Helene feel they haven't gotten enough support.
Have you seen anyone from FEMA?
No.
State and federal officials now battling misinformation, promising help is here as they brace for the next blow.
Always tracking, always alerting. Here's your Storm Track 15 weather.
And we are continuing to track the latest on Milton, and I'll give you that. In fact, we probably have a new update from the Hurricane Center. So what we'll do first off, though, is talk about our local weather here, where we have a front that's sliding down south of the Louisiana coastline, protecting us from seeing any impacts from Milton, but also giving us some beautiful conditions. In fact, you can see down Parkerson Avenue, a couple of school buses going by, nice little breeze out there in Crowley. 62 for you in Crowley right now, as it is in Abbeville. But look at Ville Platte and Opelousas in the 50s. It feels fantastic out there. We do have a little breeze blowing, and that's adding a bit of a chill to the atmosphere. 5 to 10 mile an hour out of the north. No major concerns for you. But looking out across downtown Lafayette, the sun's still yet to rise. Our temperatures will rise very fast, reaching the upper 70s by midday, and then low to mid 80s this afternoon. Notice sunlight throughout the day. So really, really nice conditions. Once we get through this afternoon and evening, we'll see our temperatures here drop off into the 50s overnight. And that's going to bring in some really pleasant weather for the next few days. Now, it does get a little toastier here as we head towards your Thursday and your Friday. But overall, no major concerns in the next 7 days. What is a concern, of course, is Milton, a formidable, strong Category 4 hurricane here, trying to ramp back up to Category 5. We'll see if it can do it today. Let's see if we got the new update. It doesn't appear that we did, but even if we did, this is still a Category 4. So we're not looking at anything changed really from the last advisory. 155 mile an hour winds, 924 millibars, so a strong Category 4, almost Category 5. Milton underwent an eye wall replacement cycle overnight, which constricted one eye wall and then formed up a new one. But what that also did is made Milton a much larger hurricane, and that is going to happen probably a few more times here as we head through the next few hours and days. We are expecting this as it crosses the loop current to become a Category 5 once again. And then from there, Milton will start to gradually weaken as it heads towards Tampa. Now, it's very likely we could see a Category 4 at landfall. We always tell you to prepare for a category above this. But if there's any good news today, the track has shifted a little to the south of Tampa, which means they would be getting an offshore wind and less storm surge. Still likely getting battered by the eye, but places like Sarasota down towards Fort Myers and Cape Coral, that is where we would see the greatest impacts from surge. Still a big hit for Orlando, Daytona Beach, Cape Canaveral, all along the Sunshine Coast there on the west or on the eastern coast of Florida. So this is going to be a big hit for Florida, unfortunately for them. But for us, we are looking at some pretty comfortable conditions. I don't know why my 7-day jumped, but I'll give you the latest on that 7-day coming up.
Again, expect delays in school zones around Acadiana. There are no accident reports on the board right now. And checking things on I-10 and I-49, we're pretty clear there as well. If you see a situation we should know about, call us, 706-0119. I'm Steve Wiley in the Delta Media Studios.
All right, in sports this morning, Monday Night Football brought us the Saints' loss and the potential loss of quarterback Derek Carr. He injured his hip, his lower oblique. He left the game with 9.5 minutes to go. Carr will have an MRI sometime today.
A good showing by the Saints defense last night. The Chiefs led 16-7 at the break, and then early in the fourth, Carr connected with Foster Morrow to make it 16-13. But for the Saints offense, that was it. KC scored the next 10 points. New Orleans had no answer.
Pat Mahomes went for 331 yards, Carr 165, and a big key stat, Alvin Kamara just 11 carries and 26 yards. The Chiefs beat the Saints 26-13. New Orleans now 2-3 on the year. And with Hurricane Milton approaching the Florida Gulf Coast, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Saints' next opponent, they headed to New Orleans a little bit earlier than expected. Buccaneers are evacuating Tampa. They will be in New Orleans today. The team announced Monday the team will stay in a hotel in New Orleans for the rest of the week. They weren't scheduled to fly until Saturday for Sunday's game. And Adam, Olivier has a final track of your weather and your forecast, plus this year's Lafayette Civic Cup recipient.
This year's Lafayette Civic Cup recipient is Dr. William Kip Schumacher. Dr. Schumacher has a long list of civic accomplishments, and it all started when he was making jewelry in his apartment to pay for medical school.
No wonder he's good friends with Matt Stoller, making jewelry. After finishing med school, he worked in a hospital emergency department. Then he launched one of the country's largest healthcare practice management companies. All the while, he's donated millions of dollars to worthy causes.
I am so blown away because I had, first of all, until I was told that I was going to be a recipient, didn't realize the amazing group of people that are part of it. But for me to be recognized as being a part of an organization like this is unexpected by me. But it's a real honor.
Dr. Schumacher will be presented with the award during the annual banquet at the City Club in River Ranch on November 12th.
Out there today, looking at some beautiful conditions. Those temperatures, they were warm, but not too fast. I mean, we'll still be in the mid-70s here by 11 o'clock, lower 80s by 1, and we'll see a nice northerly breeze. It really feels nice out there. If you can get out, just enjoy the comfortable weather that we have around the area. Go and do that. I'll track that, how long it sticks around your forecast, and also the latest on Milton coming up.
Okay, Adam. We'll see you in a bit. Top of the hour over on Fox.
Yeah.